Sa isang virtual message naman ay kinausap ni US President Donald Trump ang mga trade leaders sa World Economic Forum sa Davos, Switzerland. Sinabi ng bagong Pangulo na balak nitong pababain ang inflation, wakasan ang illegal immigration at bawasan ang presyo ng langis sa pandaigdigang merkado. Si Ana Cui para sa report.
Sa taunang World Economic Forum ng business leaders na ginanap ngayong taon sa Davos, Switzerland, nagbigay ng virtual na mensahe si Pangulong Donald Trump. Ayon kay Trump, babawiin ang kanyang administrasyon ang ipinatalo ng nakaraang pamahalaan ng bansa. Kasama sa tatrabahuhin anya ng kanyang gobyerno ay ang pagpapababa ng inflation at paglaban sa illegal na imigrasyon.
The inflation rate we are inheriting remains 50% higher than the historic target. It was the highest inflation probably in the history of our country. That's why from the moment I took office, I've taken rapid action to reverse each and every one of these radical left policies that created this calamity, in particular with immigration, crime, and inflation.
Binanggit din ni Trump ang pagpapalakas ng produksyon ng fossil fuels sa bansa.
I declared a national energy emergency, and that's so important, national energy emergency to unlock the liquid gold under our feet and pave the way for rapid approvals of new energy infrastructure. The United States has the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we're going to use it. Not only will this reduce the cost of virtually all goods and services, it'll make the United States a manufacturing superpower and the world capital of artificial intelligence and crypto.
Pinangalanan ni Trump kung ano ang nasaksihan ng mundo nitong nakaraang 3 araw sa sandaling nanumpa siya bilang Pangulo ng US.
What the world has witnessed in the past 72 hours is nothing less than a revolution of common sense. Our country will soon be stronger, wealthier, and more united than ever before, and the entire planet will be more peaceful and prosperous as a result of this incredible momentum and what we're doing and going to do.
Inipitahan ng US President ang business leaders na mamuhunan sa Estados Unidos, dalhin ang produksyon sa bansa at ipinangakong bibigyan ang mga ito ng malaking kaltas sa buwis.
To further unleash our economy, our majorities in the House and Senate, which we also took along with the presidency, are going to pass the largest tax cut in American history, including massive tax cuts for workers and family, and big tax cuts for domestic producers and manufacturers. And we're working with the Democrats on getting an extension of the original Trump tax cuts, as you probably know, by just reading any paper. My message to every business in the world is very simple. Come make your product in America, and we will give you among the lowest taxes of any nation on earth. We're bringing them down very substantially, even from the original Trump tax cuts. But if you don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply you will have to pay a tariff, differing amounts, but a tariff which will direct hundreds of billions of dollars and even trillions of dollars into our treasury to strengthen our economy and pay down debt. Under the Trump administration, there will be no better place on earth to create jobs, build factories, or grow a company than right here in the good old USA.
Samantala, sinabi rin ni Trump na nais niyang bawasan ang presyo ng langis sa buong mundo. Anya, makikipag-ugnayan siya sa Saudi Arabia ukol dito.
And it's also reported today in the papers that Saudi Arabia will be investing at least $600 billion in America, but I'll be asking the Crown Prince, who's a fantastic guy, to round it out to around $1 trillion. I think they'll do that because we've been very good to them. And I'm also going to ask Saudi Arabia and OPEC to bring down the cost of oil. You got to bring it down, which frankly, I'm surprised they didn't do before the election. That didn't show a lot of love by them not doing it. I was a little surprised by that. If the price came down, the Russia-Ukraine war would end immediately. Right now, the price is high enough that that war will continue. You got to bring down the oil price. You got to end that war. They should have done it long ago. They're very responsible, actually, to a certain extent for what's taking place. Millions of lives are being lost.
Pinatamaan ni Trump ang dati-rati mga kaalyado ng US, ang Canada at European Union. Binantaan niya ang mga ito ng panibagong taripa. Tinuligsa rin ni Trump ang mga tuntunin ng mga ito pagdating sa pag-i-import.
One thing we're going to be demanding is we're going to be demanding respect from other nations. Canada, we have a tremendous deficit with Canada. We're not going to have that anymore. We can't do it. I don't know if it's good for them. As you probably know, I say you can always become a state. And if you're a state, we won't have a deficit. We won't have to tariff you, et cetera, et cetera. But Canada has been very tough to deal with over the years. And it's not fair that we should have a $200 billion or $250 billion deficit. We don't need them to make our cars, and they make a lot of them. We don't need their lumber because we have our own forests, et cetera, et cetera. We don't need their oil and gas. We have more than anybody.
Inatake ni Trump ang EU at sinabing hindi maganda ang ginawang pagtrato nito sa US.
From the standpoint of America, the EU treats us very, very unfairly, very badly. They have a large tax that we know about, and a VAT tax, and it's a very substantial one.
Subalit ayon kay Trump, mahal niya ang Europe at kailangan lamang anya nitong bilisan at ayusin ang kilos pagdating sa pangangalakal sa US.
Hundreds of billions of dollars of deficits with the EU, and nobody's happy with it, and we're going to do something about it, but nobody's happy with it. So I think the EU has to speed up their process. Friends of mine that are in some of the nations within the EU, great people, they want to be able to compete better, and you can't compete when you can't go through the approval process fast. There's no reason why it can't go faster. So, you know, I'm trying to be constructive because I love Europe. I love the countries of Europe, but the process is a very cumbersome one, and they do treat the United States of America very, very unfairly with the VAT taxes and all of the other taxes they impose.
Higit sa 1,000 executives at mga opisyal mula sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo ang nakapakinig sa talumpati ni Trump. Kabilang sa mga ito, sina dating US State Secretary John Kerry at Polish President Andrzej Duda. Naghiyawan ang mga tao nang ipinakitang mukha ni Trump sa big screen. Ana Cui para sa Mata ng Agila International, trusted, connected, on point.